The Global Latin Factor Podcast.
Welcome you and to another episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast, where we talk about Latino everything. Thank you very much for joining for another episode, another amazing episode, because we have the creator of Latinx Hip Hop that shows love to artists who, like him, are creating beautiful music and deserve to be noticed. He's also artist manager and much more. We have Daniel, aka Sin Illanoy, aka Lil Sin, aka Latinx. What's up, my bro? How you doing?
What's going on, man? You went deep on them names. I guess you did some homework, huh?
Bro, you already know. You're not
Yeah.
what I do. That I'm gonna find some stuff about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. I know we have to do it. You're in Houston. I'm in the Dallas area, but still, you're doing some amazing things. I think, and then we got the land in common. So
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool that we get to do this. And yeah, let's go ahead and get it started though. With first, Preguntas al Chile. So if you have not subscribed to the channel,
Preguntas al
I don't know what you're
Chile.
waiting for. You're already here. Go ahead and tap in, smash the like, subscribe, and check out all the beautiful graphics that Carlos put together. You ready? You ready, Latinx?
Ready.
Okay.
Ready.
Everybody says it and they start choking. Under pressure. Tacos or tortas?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to go with tortas.
Tortas. Corn tortilla or flour tortilla?
Flour.
Okay. Gorditas or sopes?
Gorditas.
Jarritos or Fanta?
Jarritos.
What flavor?
What's the orange one called?
De naranja. Tamarindo. Mandarina. You like the orange?
Okay, that's the one.
Okay. Agua de horchata, Jamaica or tamarindo?
Horchata.
Horchata. Okay. Salsa verde, salsa roja.
Whatever's least spicy.
Really? You're not a fan of the
Yeah.
spicy?
Nah, not too much.
I love the fire. Menudo
Yeah.
o pozole?
Menudo.
Menudo. Okay. Churros or flan?
Flan.
Okay. Valentina, Tapatio, Cholula, or Tabasco hot sauce?
Say that again? Sorry.
Valentina, Tapatio, Cholula, or Tabasco, the hot sauce. Which one do you like?
So all of them are hot sauce, huh?
They're all hot sauce.
I might have to shoot all of them down.
No, none of them. It's all good.
No.
And then the little candies. I don't know if you've seen the paletitas, the lollipops, the corn, the sandia, the mango. They're covered with some chile too.
Okay, yeah.
Which one do you like?
The corn one?
Okay. And the conchitas, the pastries, the brown ones, the white ones, or the pink conchitas, the conchas.
The white ones.
The white ones, okay. And this one's a new one that I added because I think it's pretty fun. Carlos and I like to entertain a good conspiracy theory. So for you, a conspiracy theory that you can almost guarantee is true, what would that be?
Damn, that is a good one. Man, I don't know, cause I feel like the majority of them lately seem to be true. You know, the little, as the world keeps going. Man, I don't know.
We'll pass on, but we'll let you think about that one. Because that was
Okay.
different, because everybody, like my previous guests, have that we're living in a simulation conspiracy. Like the moon.
I'll tell you this. I don't think this has been a conspiracy theory that's been said, but one time I started thinking, I was like, you know how they say like some celebrities are reptiles?
Yeah.
So, I was thinking, what if, like, it's the dinosaurs that are just, coming back or whatever. I mean, I don't know the whole background behind how they figured out it's reptiles or whatever, but, they're just trying to get their land back, I guess.
Oh, kind of like they never actually went away. They're still among us,
Yeah.
slowly but steadily taking over what they had lost.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a different one. You might
Yeah.
start something.
No.
Okay, and when you hear the word Latino, or Latina, or Latinx, what first comes to mind?
I mean, brown pride. You know, I would say the word unity, but people tend to divide us when we want to be called, be identified as some. So I don't know. I guess just brown pride.
Yeah, and we'll touch back more on that part that you talked about because it's true. Okay, and do you mind being called Latino? Do you care if you're called Latino, or do you prefer to be something different, to be called by anything else?
So growing up, um, I've always considered myself just Hispanic, and but my parents, they would say, you're Mexican American, and I've had some situations where I tell somebody, oh, I'm Mexican, and they'd get offended. So honestly, it's whatever to this point. I'm Hispanic. That's what I run with.
Yeah, so you know what you are. I mean, it's whatever anybody wants to call you. It's like whatever to you, but it's not offensive. But you know who you are at the end of the day, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And are your parents from? Are you first generation, second generation? Have your parents been here? Your parents from Mexico?
First, my mom came here when she was 4. No, maybe 7 or 8.
Oh wow.
My dad came a little later, maybe when he was 16 or 17. But yeah, they were both born in Mexico. But my mom, I mean, she was practically raised here.
You know what part of Mexico? Both?
Oh, I think I never visited with them, but I think it's Monterrey and Reynosa.
Oh wow. You never been to check out the Mexico? Check out the.
We went. I think like I don't think we went to go like visit family. I think we just went to. I think it was I don't know if it was Reynosa, but it was somewhere on the border. I know we went because my grandpa lives in McAllen, and so we would go. They would have some stores, and we would go over the border and go, just buy stuff. It was like a flea market from what I remember.
That's pretty cool. So that way you were pretty young at that time when you went.
Yeah, super young. I think I was like 6, so it's been a long time.
Oh wow. Okay, so let's get into the interview part. So you were born in Chicago, but now you were raised in Texas. So how young were you when you got to Texas? Specifically, have you ever been in Humble or any other city?
So I was born in Chicago, but my parents, like when I was 6 months old, that's when they moved over here, and so I just been staying here in the small town called Humble.
Humble.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I know. My bad. My
Nah, you're good.
You know the Texas names be getting you, but Humble. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So
you don't even remember Chicago?
No, but I did go. I went to visit when I was 16, but that was the last time I went. I used to have family members over there, but all of them just came over here.
Yeah. Did your parents ever tell you the reason why they wanted to move from over there to here to Humble? Was there more opportunity? Because I know Chicago's crazy right now over there. I don't know if they saw something maybe that like told them, let's get out of here.
Yeah, it was because they did see something, but it was, the gang violence. There was one specific story that my mom tells me quite often, and she said, I think it was one night there was a shooting, and when she was waking up to go to work, that there was I don't know if she said there was a body or was blood all over her car, like outside the car.
Yeah.
So somebody got shot and killed, or maybe killed, but somebody got shot that night. And so she didn't want me to be raised in that environment.
Oh, yeah. I could definitely see how it would be traumatic to see something like that, especially being a young kid and having to grow around that stuff. That could be very scarring to somebody, right?
Yeah.
So they made the decision to bring all the way to Humble. Was there anybody, family members that was there, or not? Nobody. They just decided this is where we're going to land.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was already some family members here. So I think one of my uncles was one of the first ones that came here, and then slowly everybody started heading to Humble.
Mm-hmm. That's dope. That's dope. Okay, so you were actually a music artist, or you dab into music for some time.
Yeah, so that was more like I guess a high school thing. I was really into, I used to rap, and I used to go by Lil Scene. That was the name that I started with.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I had like I said, it was only in high school. And once I graduated high school, it's kind of when I stopped messing with it. I mean, I still wanted to be a part of it. Like that was I've always wanted to be a part of music somehow, some way. And I ended up choosing this route.
Yeah. What was it during that time? Was that something that everybody, all your peers were doing, or was there something? I know you always like hip hop, like you love hip hop, but was there any particular artist that like, man, if he can do it, that I can maybe get into it?
So at the time, I feel like there wasn't too many, well, at least where I stayed at, and the few that were doing it, they were on the Houston rap. Like I feel like all of them rap the same. It was that the Houston flow, the Houston rap, and so the rap that I like was more like the East Coast stuff. So that's the kind of rap that I personally like. And as far as liking that kind of music, I only found one one or two people, and that was actually one of the guys was Carlos Slim, and so me and him we used to rap back in the day for a little bit.
So you
And
actually, we'll talk more about that here later, but you actually are managing him at this time. Are you still managing him?
yeah, I'm still managing him. I take care of everything that you see online. I take care of from distribution to artwork to even some of the videos, like promo videos or
Yeah.
just some content for him to put out.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we'll touch more on that one because I really want to get more in depth about that one. But okay, so did you ever record anything? Did you put any projects out for yourself, or you just kind of sort of were in the scene, or maybe just going and maybe performing here and there, or maybe recording a couple of projects? But did you ever put anything out?
so I had two solo projects and I had one collab project. And man, you probably won't be able to find anything if you get
I
lucky.
try to look. I
Maybe.
try to look. I try to look,
Yeah,
but I couldn't. I didn't go to SoundCloud, but I try to look
yeah.
for it.
Nah, yeah, I don't think you'll be able to find anything, but I do have it like on a USB for memory. Like all my old stuff is in that USB. So, uh, but yeah, that's all it was. It was two solo projects and then a group project.
Didn't feel like it was worth for the masses to see it, or why did you didn't want to push it now that it's kind of you know how to do it now more as far as the distribution part, and you know how to get it out to people just to see what it does?
Um, at this point, I wouldn't want to put nothing old out. But if I were to do anything new, man, I feel like it take up too much time and energy for me. I don't want to take all the focus, for the Latinx Hip Hop page, and then obviously with what I got with Carlos Slim, I don't want another thing to add on, because then I'm gonna be all over the place.
Yeah, that's true. Because then you be stretching yourself thin, and like some of the things start slacking. So yeah, you're right, definitely. But it'd be pretty cool to see what people say. That
Yeah.
we don't want to put the old stuff out, but it would be pretty cool. That would be like, oh, so he did used to do it, whenever
Yeah.
people are like, what do you know about music? Well, I kind of, did a couple of
Yeah.
things, That's why I'm telling you this. But that's pretty cool. Okay, so do you remember the exact moment of when you decided to go with Latinx? When did the light bulb moment hit of like, oh, I need to go with this is the name? Or was there other names in the work that you were working with, trying to maybe experiment with different things? And then the logo itself, how did that come about?
Okay, so to begin with, uh, the first thing I did when the idea came to me, I went on Instagram and I typed in Latin hip hop.
Mhm.
Obviously, there was something there. I typed in Latino hip hop. If something else was there.
Mhm.
And then I had heard the word Latinx. I had seen it a couple times, online. And, I started digging into it. And to me, automatically, it seemed like I guess like a modern name to call us, because throughout the years it seems like they find a new name, to be called, like identified,
Gotcha.
and so I was like, okay, I like it, I'm cool with it, but I saw that there was issues behind it, and so I kept thinking about it. I didn't just say right away, okay, I'm running with it.
Uh-huh.
I had to really think about it, and then I think it was probably like 3 months until I actually said, all right, I'm running with it.
What was the biggest conflict in your mind about it, and what was the biggest thing that you felt it was challenging with that?
I guess getting hate behind it, really. But I think I'm getting to the point where it's gonna come. There's gonna be hate regardless. Even if it's not the name. I mean, there could probably be somebody, hating just to see who's actually behind the page. So
I got you. So you kept finally you decided this is what the route I'm gonna go to. So was there any other name? Well, the Latino and the Latin hip hop and the Latino hip hop, and that was the only two that you kind of were playing around. Was there any other one?
no, there wasn't. No, not that I can think of right now. But it was just those two, and then yeah, I stuck with Latinx Hip Hop.
And then you looked into the word as far as why is it like where the origination of Latinx comes from? Why is it more, I guess you can say, inclusive for everybody, not to be left out? I do know what you're talking about as far as people having a problem with it. Even the Spanish speaking people or even Mexican people. To my understanding, the word itself came from politicians, came up with it, and some of the LGBTQ plus people.
Yeah.
They actually took in the word, saying making us more inclusive. Because if you're with a group of men, what if it's a man, one person, right, a Latino, and
Yeah.
if women join him, it doesn't become Latinas, it become Latinos because it's a bunch of people. So
Yeah.
people felt a certain way because that didn't kind of include them, because they didn't feel like that's what they were identifying. So the word became more popular, but the older heads still see it
Yeah.
as divisive and more confusing, because it is kind of a little bit, we already have the word itself. It already is technically inclusive, but whatever y'all want to do, at least for me, I don't, whatever y'all do. But for you, what was the research that you do behind as far as where it originated, or what did you learn on your path to try to make the decision that we're going with Latinx instead of something different?
Well, I guess you could say that, you know, uh, just how you said, with Latinos, it's, even if you add a female, it's still Latinos, and you know, obviously I'm showing both genders, so I feel like Latinx fits regardless. Um, but the research that I did was, I did see that the LGBTQ community does embrace it more,
Yeah.
and I recently found out through a podcast that I guess the woke community uses it more often. Uh, yeah, so
There's highly caffeinated people. I'm just kidding. I don't know who they are. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so and then I did see something. This was, I guess you could say this is the one that I was kind of felt like people would get mad at me for. That I did see somewhere that the white man came up and labeled us that way.
A politician came up with the word Latinx. Yeah.
So, and I mean, I get it, but I don't know. It was more modern, and I thought, I'll run with it. It didn't bother me.
I think what you did with it, or what you've been doing with it, as far as what it means to you, as far as I'm covering the male side and the female side, and anybody that does Latino music in general,
Mm-hmm.
and a Latin has been a word for some time, but yeah, there's a modern thing on it with the X. It looks more modern, which I know that people don't see it that way, but to me, when I saw it, it'll be like, oh, because I remember when you first you started following me and I followed back and I started seeing what you was doing. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's something different. Because I used to do something similar a long time ago as the internet with the same concept you had, but it was in-house interviews with artists that were underground or not too known. But I saw that there was a lot of people that were not getting shine. And at the time when I was doing music, I would incorporate playing our music or always be in people's faces, like weekly episodes or twice a week. We would always be on people's faces regardless. So the consistency of that also helped at least myself with how much independent artists, or I like to call them independent artists or underground artists, whatever it is, but there's quite a bit of them that they're out there, and you'll be surprised at the demand for you, as you probably noticed whenever you started putting out and you started getting traction. Then all of a sudden, like, hey, there's quite a bit of people here. There's still, most of them know each other, but there's still a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. And what about the logo? How did the logo come about? Do you do your graphics, your own graphics? Do you have a guy that does it? Because I really like the logo. It really stands out. It looks great on a shirt. It looks it stands out immediately. You can see the same way that I do mine as far as the flags and different things like that. I see it embedded within the X, and then Latin too. Which I see people's confusion when they say Latin hip hop, but I see no, there's the X right there. Yeah. But how did the logo come about? Who made it for you?
Man, so I made it, and like I said, I'm the one that put it together, and I don't know how I came about it exactly. I just started messing with the app called it was an app. I did it on my phone, Bazaar Art. Something like that, Bazaar. I don't know, but I did it on a app, and I don't know, I liked it. And obviously I had to include all the flags just so everybody knows, it's everybody. And yeah.
And how long did it take you to make it? So you do graphic arts and things like that?
Sort of. I don't want to sound like I'm, doing top-notch stuff, but just little things here and there on my phone.
So the logo is on your phone. You said on your phone?
Yeah.
So you made it?
I created it on my phone.
That is dope. And then the other content that you'll be making, as far as like, because you change looks every so often, right? But all that also is through your phone? All the clips that you put?
Yeah. Everything's
really?
been on the phone. Everything is
serious? That is trippy to me, because I thought somebody had either generated the logo for you, like an artist. Again, I like it a lot. And then also the clips itself. I mean, they look good. They look like different. You give them your own personality as far as what you're putting out and presenting to people. So I really like it too.
Thank you.
And I happen to made it a couple of times on some of them with the song that we put out, Kilo put out for the podcast. We saw it there, like, oh yeah, there we are. You catch me in one of those clips. So that's pretty dope, bro, that you get to do that on your phone too.
Yeah, all on my phone.
Man. I'm sorry. Remember me the app? What was the name of it?
I'll probably have to send to you. Hopefully, I'm saying it. Bazart, Bazaart.
Yeah. And is it a free one, or do you have to pay a membership for it?
You gotta pay a member. Well, you could do the free, but obviously, it's only gonna let you do a couple things until you feel like you need to pay for the extra other features.
So I got you.
It's a little monthly, $9.99. So
I got you. Okay. Hello, quickly jumping in to let you know, we know that you are enjoying the episode. Hit the subscription, hit the bell, and again, right back to our programming. Thank you very much. So in 2020, so you started Latinx in 2020, but you didn't really start going full blast and going in until after about 2021 and taking it more serious. Why did you hold on so long as far as putting content out? Were you trying to figure out exactly what direction were you going to go, or why did you hesitate to put in content out?
So the main reason why it took so long is because at the time I didn't know too many artists. Like if you ever have time and you scroll all the way to the bottom, you're only going to see like people like Bo Bundy, Crystal Poppin', people already kind of got a name for themselves, or Snow the Product, and that's all you'll see. And it wasn't until I can name 2 artists who reached out to me, and then I started going through their following and finding more underground artists. It was Crispiola
Yeah.
and Misery. They're the first 2 underground artists, local artists that reached out, and then I started, like I said, started going through their following, and that's when I started meeting more artists, and then started posting their videos, and it was take off since then.
Yeah, because you still be showing the mad love. So once you started posting them, when did you started getting traction as far as people noticing? Because most of the things that you were focusing in, and still right now, are doing mostly digital. You'll be out in the streets sometimes, but for the most part, it's still a digital. And I think it's a great idea because we all seen what happened during the pandemic, right?
Mhm.
So if something like that was ever to happen again, which I know there's not a conspiracy theory to me, but I think it's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
That you already set that you don't have to do all that, right? Everything will be
Yeah.
digital, and you will be able to do that. Is that like the thought process to keep it digital? I know that you want to kind of sort of not show your face, not even show your face in the logo, but is that the reason why you just wanted to do it digital? And then once they notice you, is that how they started finding you? Just going into IG and DMing you?
So, well, actually, whenever I started getting traction is when I started doing things that started involving other artists. Like, I think it was in September or October of 2021. I did this thing called collage, where I would feature an artist on a picture and then slowly start adding them until they filled up the whole screen or that whole picture.
Mm.
And so that brought everybody in. They were contacting me. They're like, "Hey, can I get on this one? Can I get on this picture?" So I did 3 collages, and that gave me a good, good following, a good traction.
How many
And
pictures per collage did you fit in? Do you remember how many was
I think it was 20 or 25.
per? And you
So
did 3 of them.
3 of them. Yeah, I did 3 of those.
So that's about 75 people who started reaching out, and then the word got out.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty
And
crazy.
then I just started I did like tournaments and started getting that traction come in. Everybody wanted to get involved because I'm not too sure if you're familiar with like tournaments that people have on Instagram, but they normally charge. Like they'll tell them, oh, it's 20 a slot, and then they'll try to go all the way and win it. But in my case, it was free. That's it. It gives artists the opportunity to show off, their music. So
I didn't know there was thing, but they have a prize at the end. That's the reason why they charge, right?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, some of them do.
That one kind of makes sense if you are gonna win something. It makes you, it's an incentive to you to push it. But I never been the type of person to like to charge people for interviews. Even when I was doing it way back in the days, and people would want to pay, I just felt weird taking their money because I
Mhm.
know they're still struggling just like I was at that time. So for me, it didn't make any sense. You just got to give me time for me to get
Yeah.
to you. But I just didn't feel right for them, for me to charge. And
Yeah.
but I see why they doing it. But I have seen I have seen the tournaments that you put together, and people really do get involved with it.
Yeah.
Some people might disagree at the end because,
Mhm.
let's say, how can GT Garza lose? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
GT is not proactively going to be putting stuff out, which I can see it. But
Mhm.
to each their own. Hey,
Yeah.
it's good to check to see where you're at as far as your fan base and who messes with you and who wants to go and vote for you and support you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though you might not take it or lose, but you can kind
Mhm.
of sort of test the water to see where you're at. You know?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Exactly.
I like the fact that the content that at least the content that you're doing now is focusing more on the positive side of the hip hop, highlighting the artists that you might want to discover and find out who they are, and staying away from kind of like the beef, because a lot of those or issues that artists are having, because a lot of the times you feel that stuff actually picks up more traction
Mhm.
than just here's this artist, check them out, they're dope, instead of like, look at this fool's going at it, you need to check them out. Why do you want to go that direction as of right now and not a different route to like the academics, like sometimes even the Blad skin name for this or the no jumpers? Why did you want to go in that direction instead?
Man, well, honestly, it just doesn't sit right with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, to begin with, one of the main purposes for the page was, just music, just to really shine light to underground artists. And so that's what I really want to focus on. And I really don't want to get involved with none of that stuff. I don't, like I said, it just doesn't sit right with me. And then, I feel like if I were to do something like that, I'd be stirring up the pot for somebody's, personal life. And it doesn't sit right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though. And then it takes away from the part that the actual art and the music and the hip hop itself, for me
Yeah.
at least. Like, cause I'm the same way as you. I can see how I can create controversy with this post or this and that, but I'm like the same way as you. Like, what is the point? Like, I see people love drama, but it's not for me. You know,
Yeah.
I like to create good, nice, cool, highlighting, inspirational type of content for people that can come find somebody, you know, and like yourself, find a good, dope artist that you feel that's coming up that, that deserve to be looked at. So, you said something on the intro. I said something, but you had sent me that looks like you, right? Because you're a Latino, you look a certain way, but
Yeah.
a lot of times when you go into the hip hop spectrum, the hip hop world, they're not like you, except for people way back in the days. But nobody's that is like resembles you, came from the world that you come from, right?
Yeah.
So is that important for you to be highlighting people that look like you because you didn't see it that much growing up, or you just want to make sure that you push our culture forward more?
Well, I wanted to see more people like me because when I used to rap, I saw that there wasn't a light shined on, Hispanics. There
Gotcha.
wasn't really nobody. I can't even name. Well, I know Snow was coming up at that time, but
Yeah.
I wish there was a platform that I created when I was rapping, and yeah, I want to see us up there. I want to see us on billboards. I want to see us on TV. I want to see us on cereal boxes. I want to see us on books. I want to see us in commercials. I just want to see us. I want to see us win.
Do you think that, for example, there's been waves of people that made, people can argue Cardi B, now she's mainstream, but at one time she wasn't. But that's
Mhm.
one person. That's not
Yeah.
to the population that we have as far as Latinos, Hispanics. Doesn't really add up to me. I feel where you're
Yeah.
coming from. So do you still feel that we need a whole lot more people out there?
A lot more. Most definitely a lot more.
Yeah.
Because I feel like besides Cardi B, I mean, the only people you're hearing is as big names as 6ix9ine, SPM, and man, I guess it's really it. I feel.
We always forget, and this is J Bass said this too. That's probably why he won podcast of the year. It's because Baby Bash. We forget about that dude.
Mm,
He put in some great songs that were not. I guess you can't say. I guess you can say it wasn't rap, but it was
uh-huh.
rapping, and he's Latino, he's Mexicano. So we forget about it, that he was in there for a minute doing his thing, platinum
Yeah.
too. So, but he does. You don't have clear eyes either, bro. So yeah, he doesn't look like you. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I think we forget about him sometimes. I think Baby Bash did a great deal of things, but sometimes we tend to skip over him. After SPM, it was him. It was Baby Bash, and then I think Snow, and then there's a couple of other ones. How do you feel about the ones that are up and coming, such as D Baby, OT, that Mexican OT, Crystal Poppin, Miss Gold? I think that's more relevant names that I heard,
Mhm.
especially here in Texas. How do you feel
Yeah.
about them so far and the direction they're going?
I like them. I like them, and I want to see them. I do want to see them up there, and I hope everything works out. And I know OT and D Baby, they're really making noise. I know Miss Gold's on the come up. Crystal Poppin, well, she's really doing her thing. Uh, there are some others that I do feel like deserve it as well that haven't gotten it so much. Um, especially here in Houston. But
What are some names? Can you name me at least solid 3 or 5 people?
man, I can name you a couple more than that,
Okay.
but I don't.
You can give me a list of them. I got
Yeah.
time.
All right, so
But just be ready. If you forget some and they come at you, that got nothing to do with it.
okay. So you might not know these people, but hopefully you remember and you look into them.
Okay.
So, Chop the Father, AB Raps, Frankie, Houston's own MC,
Mm-hmm.
Carlos Slim, of course, Mike Garza, Spaceman Apollo. See who else? Nah, I don't want to forget him.
And I'll put the pressure on you, see?
Yeah. Let's see. Damn, they're gonna kill me. Man, I guess that's mainly well, as of right now, but
Well,
there's more.
if you wanna grab your phone, if you wanna go through IG, you can check some of them to make sure you don't miss. But we'll clip that part of the ones that you feel like should be looked at, and hopefully once we put it out, you can tag them to show that Why do you feel that they're some of the ones that are coming up good? Like, do they have their quality, their consistency, their presentation? What stands out to them for you? What stands out of them?
So this goes back to when I was telling you how I like that east side rap, East Coast rap, and they come with those bars, those metaphors, those delivery. I feel like the majority of them all come with that package, like that real hip hop shit. Like if you like Biggie, or if you like Wu-Tang, you like I can't think of nobody else, but that's the kind of rap music they make, and that's the stuff that I really like.
Gotcha.
There's this guy, AB Raps. He actually just came out with a project called Suble with goddamn Joe Chris, and man, that project right there was, man, he rapped his ass off. And if I could compare AB to anybody, it'd be like J. Cole almost.
Really? J. Cole?
Yeah.
Okay, so all these artists are very lyrical. What about the production? Do you think they got a particular song that could take them upstream, or do they just rather prefer to have that type of rapping skill and not really not necessarily sell out, but just focus on making great music, making great rap, hip hop with bars type of music?
Yeah, no, they definitely can. Like, I think what they need is just, I guess, more marketing, or just, I guess if they had the money to, really, do a commercial or whatever, I think they could really sell it. Like Chop the Father's got this one song called, I think it's called Never Told. And I feel like that's a great one. Carlos Slim has a song called Red Light. I feel like that was a straight radio hit. Let's see. There's this producer by the name, I think, Bad Child, and he created a project with 4 songs with focus on what's it called? It was focused on a TV show with 4 old women. Can't remember the name of the Golden Girls.
Golden Girls. Yes, sir.
So he did a project based on the Golden Girls, and he had 4 artists only. He had Chicano Vega, John Black, AB Raps, and Chop the Father. That project, those 4 tracks, beautiful. I feel like that should have been a project that should have been heard worldwide. It was a good one, really great one.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and listen to the interview and go back and find this artist. I want to check it out. I enjoy good lyrics sometimes. I enjoy like hits that really don't have no message, but sometimes I do want to hear what they gotta say.
Yeah, and I agree with you too. Like there are some artists that I know they're not lyrical, but they can put together a song. Either they'll catch me with a hook, or they'll just catch me with a couple nice lines that they put in a verse, or
or just the sound.
Yeah, just the sound. Yeah,
I know one of my homies gives him a hard time but it's just creative. You know what I mean? I mean, that is just freaking hilarious. But you can't deter away the fact that they made something and people like it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm happy for that guy. Like I said, shoot, more of us out there, and he's doing this thing. I guess he did it that way, but I know some artists might be upset. The ones that are like, every day trying to make that one hit and struggling.
And here comes this guy that doesn't even say a word.
Say nothing.
That sucks.
But
it's true, man. It's just how it happens. That's just how people sometimes gravitate to certain things, and it's crazy to me. You know what I found funny about that song? Don't listen to it more than 2 or 3 times, because then you'll find yourself randomly whistling and like, what the heck? I don't know if it happened to you, but it happened to me.
Yeah, a couple times I'd catch myself, I'm just here at the home, and I just catch myself going, I'd be like, oh, shit.
Have you ever wondered, though, why is that? Where does that come from, that we gravitate to certain things that catches our mind and just goes in circles, instead of, like, for example, some of the artists you named, that like that word or whatever, or that lyrics, that bar didn't really click with us, but something that's not even a bar, or maybe something that is just not whatever, it has to be within the production that kind of sort of grabs you and goes into your head, and you just can't get rid of it for a while.
Oh man, I've had that happen with a couple more mainstream songs, but they'll be stuck in my head, and I'm like, man, I can't get it out worth the crap. And then I'll be probably singing it sometimes, and then it transfers on to somebody else, and so on. And I don't know, it's I guess they put a spell or something.
I think it's a production, bro. I need to figure out what exactly is it that they do, that they help, that they get you and do that to you, because it has to be something within the production part. It really has to.
Yeah, I heard somebody say something about some sort of frequency wave or something. I don't know.
No, it's true.
Something.
It's true. I don't doubt that sometimes they put something on purpose, of like the waves and things like that makes you gravitate and remember those more than anything. That we don't know, but at least I don't, because I don't do the production part. But the ones that do the producing and the beat making, they know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna figure it out. Before you know, I'm gonna have you do some and just randomly what?
Something.
All right. So as far as your how did the digital awards go? I know that you went through some challenges. I know that it took you some time to put together, and I know you have an idea. You had talked about it months before you even started going, and then eventually you made the pose. How did it go?
So the award show was something I kind of had in mind the past 4-5 months before December. But as far as how I was gonna plan it out originally, I wasn't too sure. I was thinking about getting a venue or something, but with some personal life stuff going on, I couldn't I couldn't get that going. It would have messed me up. I didn't have time for it. So I was like, well, I do everything digitally, I might as well do this as well. So, but put it on YouTube and actually make it a show. And it is what it is. The way it came out, I did want it to come out with music videos and live performances, but I was having issues, and that was actually supposed to be all edited on my laptop, but the laptop was giving me problems, so I had to edit everything on the phone. So that whole video was off my phone.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was it's an app called CapCut, and I highly recommend, especially artists, to use CapCut. It's simple, it's easy, and it was all put on CapCut. I uploaded it through my phone to YouTube, and I had no choice. Like I said, it was supposed to be done all on the laptop, but.
So those are the videos that were performance and performance videos and music videos. You were not able to put them in there because it was way too much, or how did it?
Yeah. So, man, everybody probably would have had to stay up till maybe 2-3 in the morning if I would have ended up putting them on. But
you couldn't do them pre-record. You wanted to actually do the live. No.
Well, I wanted all of it to be all together, like not that it was gonna be live. I mean, it premiered live, but it wasn't gonna be a actual
okay.
live show.
I
But
got you.
I had a couple artists send me, their performances that they had maybe 8 months ago or so, and I had a couple performances in my videos from the times that I've gone out to events and stuff.
Yeah.
So I had to take them off because it was too much. It would have taken even longer. So
Have you planning to release the part 2 of the um footage that didn't make it to the first one type? I think it's still a good idea to put them all together and put it out. You already have the footage.
I'll probably do the footage from the live events that I've recorded.
Yeah.
But the ones that were sent to me, I think those artists are already getting ready to upload it onto their page. So that's that's their content.
Yeah, of
obviously.
course.
So, but I'll probably end up doing some of the ones that I've recorded myself, because I have 3 events that I went to that I recorded just about everybody's performance, and they're all on my phone, so they're just sitting there.
That's pretty dope. So overall, even though you still got it done, it didn't premiere the time that you wanted to release. However, you still got it done. Overall, again, I thought it was a dope idea. That's why I hit you up, and I appreciate you letting me come through and do my thing. And I didn't have an envelope, so that was my mess up. But it was pretty cool and then I started thinking about it too. I'm like, man, I should have get an envelope, right? Make it like he was saying the MTV type of awards. I'm like, but I just kind of read it. I'm like, but it's still pretty cool how I seen everybody do their footage and things like that. So I'm like, man, that's pretty dope. But I think you have a great idea, and I think that could, once it comes, you got the practice. Once you get into it and you get it done, I think it's gonna be dope. And then the venue part, eventually, whenever you're ready, I think it's gonna be a great idea. Do a whole red carpet, everybody suited and booted and everything, and just do a presentation, live acts. It'll be pretty dope.
Yeah, I think so. I think something like that would be awesome, and just see if I can get a videographer to record the whole thing. And
If you need a host, I call dibs. I got you.
Yeah.
I do MCing too. I've MC in clubs. I still do private gigs and stuff here with the mic. I'm good.
Yeah, well, shoot, I'm gonna need some announcers, performers, and
Got you.
hosts. And
I hosted events and dances and stuff. I'm putting my resume in right now. I called dibs already. Nobody called in to host. No, I'm just saying, you got a bunch of people from Houston, but if you need some, I got you. But that's pretty cool. So overall, you feel pretty satisfied how it came out, how it turned out?
Yeah. I mean, everybody who was either nominated or a part of it, they seem to all watched it. So, that's what I care, and they seem to enjoy it. And I saw people were tagging me. I guess their reaction, and that kind of gave me like a good feeling, like they're watching somebody being announced as the winner, and they say the winner, and everyone's like, yeah, everyone's all excited, yelling. So that kind of gave me like a good feeling. I'm like, damn, that reminds me kind of when I was 10, 11, watching VMAs or BT Awards, and being like, all right, hopefully Lil Wayne or whoever gets this award, and I'll be like, all right, well deserved,
Yeah.
and so on. So I don't know. I guess it turned out pretty good.
That's pretty cool though. That's pretty cool though. That we forget those feelings that we have whenever you wanted your artist that was nominated to take that W. And again, plus the engagement and other people. Again, if you're an artist, it's a great way to test the waters to see where your people at is, how much, or if you just don't get discouraged if you don't get it. You got to keep pushing harder. But the fact that people went in and tagged you too, I was surprised that we were nominated. I was surprised that we were nominated because we only been doing it for 2 years and some change. And we're from Dallas, the Dallas area, first of all. We're not even from the Houston area. And a lot of the people that were there are mostly from Houston, the Houston area.
Yeah, so in the long run, I want this to be, everywhere. I don't want to just be Houston.
Yeah.
I want to be everywhere. So, maybe next year, well, depending if we do because I kind of feel like if I do the venue here in Houston, I feel obligated to do Houston only. But I would like to, eventually down the road, get an artist from Chicago or New York, or another podcast from Washington or something, just
Well,
to get everybody together.
well, you can always do what you already done. Incorporate the venue, the actual venue place, but with the awards being presented to even people that are not from there too, and live stream it or YouTube stream it and premiere it that way so people can see it too. As y'all doing the actual event, y'all announcing it, other people from other states can see it too and be involved. You know, there's all kinds of streaming things that are happening now that people are taking advantage of. So that would be pretty cool if you can incorporate both, merge them together to have the venue and have the digital going at the same time with people. Unless you want to take it on the road and then do each state or each individual area, that would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, yeah, but I see. I mean, I only see growth because you've been moving up very quickly as far as the people that are finding you, and there's definitely a market for the people that you want to showcase, and I'm pretty sure they hit you up. But I like the product. I like what you put out, and now that knowing that what happened at the back end, did you get it done through your phone? I'm even more impressed that you got it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So as far as your, so are you still staying with schedule of your posting? I know you had tried to do it in schedule. You do the research of when you're supposed to post or not. That you stay very consistent with that, and have you seen results from that?
Yeah, so, well, I'm not gonna lie to you. Ever since after the award show, I kind of been behind, slacking, because I guess that was a lot of work to put in, that one day, and
Yeah.
so I'm like, man, I'm gonna take it easy. So I kind of just been doing like one post a day, but the majority of the time, yeah, I do have a schedule put down. Or I had to look to see what the schedule looks like
Yeah.
online, and I try to get artists at a good time to the point where at least all my followers get to see them. So, and get the interaction that I feel like the majority of them deserve.
Yeah.
So,
How do you what is the influence that you are having as far as the media in your media space, as far as the influences or inspiration that you have from other podcasts or other people that are within the media? Do you get any inspiration from any of them? I know some of your interviews that you've been doing is kind of like a little bit of a Blatt style type.
yeah.
Do you look into them for kind of guidance, inspiration, or anything like that?
So the the main reason why I did it that way is because I still wasn't ready to like show face yet, and so I just kind of did the interview that way. And yeah, I don't want too much focus on me as a person. I want the focus on the brand. So, but yeah, that's how I did it. So
And here you are on camera right now.
yeah,
Well, not
I'm
the
on
same way. I
camera.
feel you on that because at the end, anybody interviews you, I want to talk about the podcast. Like,
Yeah.
I got a cool story, but I want to focus on getting eyes on the podcast. I don't
Mm-hmm.
ask me if you want to, but I'm always going to try to direct it towards a podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but besides that, any other things that you get from other places that help you, inspire you, get ideas of what can you do or where else can you take Latinx?
As far as ideas, like the creative things that I've done with tournament, the award show, and the
Yeah.
collage, uh, honestly, I don't see nobody doing it. So I wouldn't. Uh, I guess it's just me trying to be a little bit creative with the hip hop stuff that I grew up on. I like I said, I used to look forward to the award shows. So I said, how about I throw an award show? And I'm pretty invested in all these underground artists to know what they've done and throughout the year and stuff. And then what else? And as far as a tournament, well, it's some fun engagement. Let people know some of the songs of the artists and stuff. And I don't know, just whatever's been done in hip hop,
Yeah.
like that's kind of what I want to bring up again. Like here's an example. I'm not saying I'm gonna do it,
Mm-hmm.
but what was it, New Jack City, when they used to have artists come on and rap on a mic?
Yeah.
So if I had like a office space or some sort, I'd be open to do that. And so, little things here and there, like some TRL type of deal where, or 106 in Park, where, come out weekly or whatever and do a top 10 music videos and have people vote for them. That's another idea out there. And I guess you can say I'm recycling old hip hop stuff that, we grew up on.
I can see what you said about the top 10, because you already do the voting and people already interact with the post of doing, running a week's worth or 2 weeks worth of things like that. And then by the end of the month, doing like the top 10 based on what people voted for.
Yeah.
Do like a video like that. That'll be pretty dope, because it will be the top 10 Latinx hip hop, based on people's voting. So it'll be pretty, kind of like the same thing as the tournament, but just that songs themselves.
Yeah, and then they'll stay on, and then when someone drops a new song, they can get involved or something and see how well that song does in the top 10. See if it's, I guess, good enough to stay in the top 10 type of deal.
Yeah, yeah, you got some good ideas. I hope that you make them happen. I mean, you made this happen and it's going well for you, but I see why you kind of sort of have to maintain focus on one thing, so that way you don't lose traction on it, but eventually figure a way to incorporate all the other ideas within the same Latinx hip hop umbrella to do different things, and people don't just get bored with the same thing over and over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Where did your love for underground hip hop come from? Is that because you used to do music? Is that how kind of sort of the love came to give love to the underground?
I like that you asked that question. So originally, like, my parents didn't put me on hip hop. They didn't put me on no type of music. When I got brought up and introduced to music, I was introduced to alternative rock music. I was into Linkin Park, The Used, and I can go on and on. So it was kind of more like that emo rock music is what I was into.
Gotcha.
And it wasn't until maybe like 8th grade, I believe that was 07, 06. My cousin, he started introducing me to hip hop music, and he really got me into, he introduced me to Wayne and Zero, and then I started exploring more into it. And then as I started exploring more into other hip hop artists, then that's when my cousin was kind of getting me into rapping, because he was kind of he would freestyle here and there, and he said, come on, get on freestyle. And then that's when me rapping, making music and stuff started happening. And but yeah, that's how it was. And I really dived deep into the hip hop scene. Like, I started looking into old artists, and yeah, so
that's pretty dope. And then after that, you evolved with that, but not only so, even though you stopped making music, you felt that you were still going to be involved with music somehow, not only with Latinx hip hop, but you also do artist management, which is right now you have Carlos Lim.
Yeah.
Carlos Lim, which is, if people don't know Carlos Slim, the actual Carlos Slim, not the artist, but he's a billionaire from Mexico that owns like all the telemarketing and everything. But Carlos Slim is with the money sign S, so it's pretty cool. So if I'm not mistaken, you mentioned him earlier that y'all actually go way back in the days. So y'all used to rap together back in high school?
Yeah, so we used to have his brother introduced me to him, and we ended up forming a little group, and that's when we did that collab project I was telling you about.
What was the name?
The group? A different type of perfect.
A different type of
perfect.
Ah, got it.
So, or ADTP for short. Just So that's actually the name that I came up with. And before I came up with the name, I brought it up to him because it was 4 of us. I was like, "What do you guys think about this name?" And they liked it, and we ran with it. So that's what the group was called, a different type of perfect.
That's pretty cool. So is that when you kind of sort of decided to, once y'all were in the group, I know y'all stopped making music, but when did y'all link back together to start managing him?
I think it was 2012 or 2013 is when I kind of completely stopped. He kept going. I'm kind of glad he kept going, and he kind of had his own little adventure going. He actually used to be with Bo Bundy. He's got a couple songs that you can find on SoundCloud before Bo Bundy blew up. And then I guess, I don't know if he stopped hanging around with Bo Bundy or this is when Bo Bundy took off. I don't know the whole story, but, you know, he was telling me, you know, he needed help and he really wanted to push it. And I told him, well, let's get back in this, but let me play a different part. And so I took care of everything, and I had already did some of my research on like how to distribute everything and, you know, handle it and online. So I was like, I mean, I could take care of everything online, and, you know, I know what you do, and I know what you do is good. So you know, from there, I think we're good to go as long as I take care of your stuff online.
And then, so you learn how to do, I don't know if you do CD Baby or TuneCore and then his ASCAP and all that and how to get the publishing and all that stuff. You already have learned all that?
So, yeah, right now we're with DistroKid, and we're working on getting the publishing with ASCAP pretty soon. And, yeah, we're going to get that taken care of. But we're still working on things here and there.
Absolutely. And you still, do you work as far as his, if it needs to go on, do you manage his social media too? And are you also playing the road manager as well whenever, in case he gets to perform out of town or anything like that?
It hasn't well, we've had offers, but we haven't gone out yet. Either some came up on his end or my end. But, sorry, what was the other question? You said something else.
Yeah, the road manager part. Have you ever played the road manager and the social media? Do you manage his social media too, or is that because you do very well? You do a good job at it. You know what you're doing with that, especially the timing of the posting and everything like that. That takes. I used to know those, and I know they change, but there's timings that you need to post, and if you look it up, it changes, but you can figure out when you're supposed to be posting. You know.
Yeah. So the road management stuff hasn't happened yet. We just haven't stepped out yet. But as far as the posts, like, you know, say we're out somewhere, I might record him or take a picture of him, and then, you know, I'll edit it and I'll send it his way and tell him, hey, post this sometime tomorrow at so time or whatever, and, you know, put this as your caption or make sure to add this hashtag or whatever and or whatnot. And so, but I don't actually like log into his Instagram and manage it, but I'll tell him, you know, when to post, what to post.
That's pretty good. I mean, you done the research to know what's effective and what works and what might get him more eyes. So it's pretty cool that you get to even tell him that he's willing to take that feed and upload it and put the hashtags that you told him, because you know, based on the research that you done, that it works. It works if you consistently do it. Like, you know. Like here in the music, if you don't post in a couple of days, people might just skip you over and forget all about you. Or the algorithm might just like, oh, this dude's not active enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to just keep playing the game. So you've been diving on doing a little bit of interview, and I've seen a few interviews that you have on your channel. I don't know if you're going to get back in that. I don't know if it takes so much of your time still. It's still within the hip hop, the Latinx Hip Hop umbrella. But is that something that you wanted to do, like a podcast type, or?
As far as podcasts, probably not yet. But as far as the interviews, the way that I've been doing them, I do plan on continuing them. I actually have one interview that I still have to put together and upload. But there's already been artists that have contacted me, and I told them, yeah, let me just get back with you. I got to see how my schedule is, and you know, we'll definitely set something up, because I enjoy it. You know, I love sitting down with these artists, and I'm pretty sure you do as well, when you sit down with people and actually get to know them and see how they started. And to me, I like it. I love it. You know, getting to know them, how they got there, and all their influences and all that stuff. And yeah.
Do we know the name of the artist that's pending to come? Are you able to tell us yet or not yet?
Yeah. I mean, I named him AB Raps. That's
Oh yeah,
the one I was talking about earlier.
yeah.
So yeah, he's one of the videos I still gotta uh edit and put together. So, but other than that, there are other artists that are already contacting me, and so I just gotta set a date and do that.
That's pretty cool. And for any artist that's interested in hitting you up for posting or whatever the case might be, again, everybody runs their stuff differently. But on interview, I saw that you have your own people that you have an eye out. Whether somebody tagged you and they telling you about them and you find them, you kind of sort of have your order of what you're gonna go. But there's people there sometimes willing to want to get ahead and pay for their services. If anybody wanted to get a hold of you for that, how do they go about it? Do they just DM you? Is there an email that they need to go to? I know your website is in the works, but how does the best way to get a hold of you?
Just a DM. Just hit me up in the DM.
People they'll be rude.
Yeah, exactly. There'll be some people that just send you something. And it's all like, man, you could have said hi. How's your day going? And there's something.
I feel funny. This is not against anybody, but just know that there's a way we're people. Like, we're just people like y'all, right?
Yeah.
But it makes me feel funny whenever they just send me a link of their song or whatever directly, and that's it. I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? Like,
Yeah.
click on it, give you a view or what, and nothing else.
And then they don't follow you.
And they don't check your stuff or nothing. Yeah, they don't follow anything. Like, dude, like, you're not gonna benefit off of me. I mean, we're gonna work together to benefit each other, And I know you work the same way. Like, you follow me, I'll follow you, and this and that, and then we just keep it rolling. There's not gonna be one way, and then your video is not the greatest quality ever. Like, even worse, bro. Get your stuff up before you do that. Like, and that's kind of, for me, it's rude.
No,
Like, 'cause I wouldn't go without even saying a hi or hello, starting off, and then saying your name after, Hi, my name is so and so. How you doing?
Yeah.
So, like, I think it's so funny when they do that, bro. It's just hilarious to me. I don't know where it comes from. But I don't know. People are different, but I just find it funny whenever they do that. I'm like, I know. You're not even following the page. So what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So, okay. So tell me the Spotify listing that y'all, Spotify and Apple Music playlist that y'all do. I don't know if it's a big deal. Maybe I'm not in tune with what that is, but I know you do certain playlists. What does that consist of, and what is it exactly?
So it's just another opportunity for the artist to get them involved and stuff. But yeah, so it's me and another guy. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with them damn Mexicans.
Yeah, they follow. We follow each other, and China Lee's the one that I think she works with them, and her and I have something work maybe in the future. Yeah.
Okay.
So I heard him. I don't know him, no.
Yeah, so he's a real good guy, and yeah, we just started doing a playlist together, and it's a collab. We do it every month, and we normally, I mean, we're in touch with the underground, so those are already songs that we're checking out for that month, and it's different every month. It's not going to be the same song in there all the time, but we do give the opportunity to artists. I just posted on my story. I won't do a post. I'll say, hey, it's time for the February playlist. Send in a link, Spotify or Apple Music, and so they just send it in, and that's really it. I mean, we don't try to keep the playlist too big. We try to maintain it between 20 to 25 songs, because we don't want to drag, because some people might be like skip, and some you have your casual listeners that just, I don't know what they're looking for, but they just.
And what is the benefit of that to a artist that's up and coming, for them to be so people can go find in an area their song being played, and then they might be able to get some place out of it? Is that how it works?
So, well, I mean, for how can I put it? Just just to have, because you don't ever know who's looking at your page. Somebody's probably clicking the link in our bio and actually just checking out, see what's on the playlist, what's going on, and it gives the opportunity to them discover a new artist, and they might be rocking with them, and or they might not. But it's all about just the opportunity, and then obviously if you have all your stuff sorted out as far as the whole ASCAP and distro or CD Baby, I mean, you might get you your little couple cents here and there. So
Your point
but
0.0001% per play.
exactly.
But that's pretty good idea though that you get to do that, and another way for artists to get exposure. I didn't know how it all worked. I have a playlist for mine on Spotify, which is a mixture of episodes and interviews. Like whatever interview I did, like for example GT Garza, then I have one of his songs right under it, and then I do any other artist that I talk to, Mandy Red, I have her song under it. So, and that's just artists that I have my playlist for that, a mix of episodes and songs of them. So if anybody heard the actual episode, that they can check out what are they talking about, what's their song, and then it's right below you can see the sound. So, but mine is longer than 25 songs. It's like I forgot how long it was. It was like 50 hours worth of content, but I thought it was a pretty good idea to have one. So. But it gives it a different flavor because it's a podcast / song type, you know. So you tired of listening to a podcast. Oh shoot, there's a song playing. I'm good. Oh, right back to the podcast. You can listen forever. But that's pretty cool. I was just curious of how come the list is the playlist is so important. I know artists are looking to get into different playlists to get their song in there, so that's pretty cool. But you know that Spotify offers that option already, right?
What option?
To
like to be a curator,
to submit your artist song before you release and put it in and send it to actual Spotify curators that look through your song, and then and they themselves put it, not within Spotify, not anybody that puts a playlist differently, like myself or yourself.
Oh, okay.
In the artist page, once you claim the artist page, you're able to submit before you release it to them, so they can get the songs to them so they can look at it, and they'll be able to check, see if it's worth to be put on a Spotify. I just learned this, but it will be helpful for artists to know. Yeah, I'll send you the video that I found so you can check it out, and might be beneficial for you and Carlos Slim to get on a list that actually curated by Spotify employees. That's all they do.
No, I actually so I dived into a little bit on it. It's so you know how when you see artists saying, "Hey, pre-save."
Yep, it's important.
Because that will push them to actually get onto those playlists. So it's got to be like a song where you could upload it, but it won't premiere for maybe a month or so. But with all those pre-saves, it'll push their algorithm to be put on those playlists. That's how I understood it.
Yeah, but there's a way to pitch it to them too. Not only pre-save it, but actually pitch it directly to them.
Okay.
Give you, like, you put a description, who you are, what the song is about, and give them a little bit. They go check you out. Sometimes they even take the time to look at your social media and then see if you're worth to be put on some of the lists that they have. They feel like people might find it. So I see what you're saying, but there's a way for you actually to submit to the curators so they can see, and maybe you have a chance to get in there on one of their lists. And I don't know exactly how that works, but I know I'm pretty sure there's a good sized list of people that they have for those lists. All right, so we're running short on time. I have a couple more questions. Real quickly, how do you think the state of hip hop in the Latino community is? Where we at right now as far as Latino, our music, as far as our artists? Which direction do you think we're moving? Do you think we're making progress? Do you think that one of these days will be like 30, 40 Latino artists just going at it that will be mainstream household names?
So we are definitely making progress, but I feel like at the point we're making progress, but in a bad way. I feel like I guess like the whole 6ix9ine and I can't remember those the Island Boys or
they were Cuban. They're Cuban.
Yeah. And
Lil Pump too.
A Lil Pump. So I feel like it's getting there, but I feel like they're not pushing the ones, the guys that are actually rapping their ass off, the I guess the lyricists, the
like the GT Garces that you feel you should
Yeah,
like the J.
exactly.
Cole's or like any of the other ones. Like I know D Baby's doing good for himself, but that's like he gets comparisons to Kevin Gates, so maybe like the Kevin Gate of the Latino hip hop, but still being like, an artist himself, or you know, that Mexican OT has his own vibe type of thing.
Mhm.
So, he could possibly be his own thing, but the looks that we had as far as the Latinos is that I think it's just the market right now as far as what's drawing attention to people to listen to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they are Latinos, so that's the weird thing to like, dang, why'd y'all pick them?
Yeah.
But overall, so you still feel like, well, be irrelevant to them because I know they're still Latinos. We can't really check them out. But do you feel we're still making progress as far as the music?
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely, I feel like it because there are some artists that you might not know them, but they're kind of still getting a name for themselves. Like I don't know if you're familiar with Reverie, Gavilan, um, see, Emel, I can't remember his name, Emelio Rojas. I don't know if I said his name right. But there's a couple people here and there,
Got you.
but they're kind of I feel like they're on the same level as I guess Doughman and Crystal Poppin. Uh, but they're getting there. I feel like they're getting there slowly but
I
sure.
know the product. I just feel like she should already had a few. I don't know. Maybe she's just missing the hit songs for her to be like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know if there's ever been the hit song for her besides "Drunken Love," and I'm pretty sure her following knows all her songs. But as far as like a hit, there's all over the place. I don't think she had that hit yet, and I think that's the only thing that she's missing as far as just going all the way to freaking the moon and back. At least
Yeah,
for me, that's how I feel.
yeah. Um, I get what you're saying. I probably can't think of one off the bat myself as well. But when I got introduced to her, I got introduced to her as like like she was like the female Mexican Eminem is the way I got introduced to her. So,
She's
but as
she's
far
really
as me,
good. She's super
yeah,
lyrical. I mean, but I think like maybe for me, I just feel like that one song will catapult her to beyond stardom. Like
yeah,
we know her,
mhm,
but everybody in the U.S. doesn't know her. So I'm pretty sure she has a huge fan base she packs out. But that one song will catapult her to everybody knowing her. You know what I mean? At least that's how I
yeah,
feel for her. But I mean, she's freaking dope as can be.
yeah.
Definitely. All right, so real quickly, we're gonna end it. However, all your social media, and do you have any events coming up?
So yeah, you can follow me at Latinx Hip Hop, just like that, and you can follow me, I guess, on my personal, but I don't know if I'll follow back because I get confused with the artists. I don't want to
We just do the
say something.
Latinx one. So the
Yeah,
Latinx and everything, right? Latinx on YouTube.
yeah,
You have a YouTube going,
YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. It's all Latinx Hip Hop.
and the
So just
website.
like
How's
that.
it coming along?
The website needs a lot more work. I kind of uh, I I was given the idea of doing some sort of world star hip hop type of deal, but I don't know. I still have a lot of work to do on that one. I do want to have like a little sections where you can check out some sort of artists and see a little bio and probably update it to where it's like here's their latest music video and here's the Latinx hip hop's pick music video from them. So it's a lot of work. We'll see. I
Yeah,
gotta.
yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I can see it. But the ideas that you have, A1. I hope you get them to execute. What about projects, new projects from your artists and merch? Any merch that you have?
As far as will merge from him or me or both.
Both.
Okay,
And
so
projects from you or him? Both.
as far as projects for me, I don't have any in the works yet. But Carlos Slim is getting ready to drop a project called The Color of Money. Um, yeah, that one. The meaning behind that name, it's crazy. He explained it on a on an episode of Road Dogs that we went to.
Yeah, he was going deep in it
Yeah.
as regard to what he was talking about. I heard that episode, and he was going in deep
Yeah,
about the
so
meaning of it.
yeah, he's real. The majority of stuff he does, he makes sure it has some sort of meaning behind of it. But yeah, so he has The Color of Money, and he does have a show coming up, and I know he said he wants to get some merch together. He's got a show at White Oak Music Hall here in Houston.
Gotcha.
It's gonna be, the headliners are Chop the Father and Chicano Vega, and yeah, Carlos Slim is gonna be one of the openers. And he, like I said, he doesn't want to sell some merch there.
What date is that?
And I believe it's March 3rd.
March 3rd.
Yeah, March 3rd at White Oak Music Hall in Houston.
So be on the lookout for the flyer that he has. Follow him and follow you. You probably have it posted too.
Yeah. So we got that flyer out already, so it's available, and you can already purchase tickets, and they're only $10 tickets, so anybody can go, all ages. So
that's dope. And as far as for you, merch shirts, I know they're in high demand.
Yeah, so man, I'm actually behind on that because I was supposed to get with some online website, and they were supposed to send me a sample copy, but I still haven't received it. I was supposed to get it a couple days ago, but I gotta get back with it.
Is that Teespring or somebody else?
Yeah, Teespring. That's so
It'll get there. It'll get there. You know that I sell my shirts through Amazon. So they call you it's an affiliate program, but you have to call. It's a print on demand, same thing, but you have to apply your social and all that. And then once you get in there, they start you off with about 5 designs, and then you can sell off of Amazon directly. But they pay you what's called a royalty. Same thing as Teespring too. So mine are through Amazon. Same thing, but Amazon is quicker. And usually they don't send you new examples. You actually just have to buy one. But their quality, I don't know if you've seen my previous videos, they're pretty good.
Okay.
To Garmin. So you might want to look into. It's called Print on Demand by Amazon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that because I know everybody loves Amazon. They already got their card ready.
So you price them yourself, right? So depending on how high you price them or how low you price them, depending on your royalties that you get. But you don't do nothing. You don't touch nothing. All you do is put the link and the picture and have people go buy it, and then you just keep getting shirts in. And the royalties, it could be $5, $10, $7, $10, but you don't touch jack.
Which
I love that.
Yeah,
so printing stuff and printing merch, I've done that before, and having to keep with the inventory and everything. So like, you want to buy a shirt? Here's the link. Go get it from Amazon. Have it delivered to your house. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I can't wait for it. I'll make sure I grab me one. Okay, shout outs. Any shout outs that you have?
Man, just really shout out everybody that I already mentioned, like the homies from Them Damn Mexicans, Carlos Slim, Houston's Own MC, AB Raps, Chop the Father, Chicano Vega, Mike Garza, and let's see.
Everybody that follows your page.
Everybody who follows my page.
So you won't get in trouble, man. Trying to help you out.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So a few other questions. What is something important that you have learned doing this that you would tell your younger self that will help somebody else? What would that be?
Repeat that question one more time. I'm sorry.
What's something that you have learned in the music business or running your page that you would tell your younger self that will help somebody else?
I guess just network.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, because we were talking about it with somebody else that your network it reflects on your net worth eventually. So eventually, of course, you have to make a good connections with people, because some people are just out for themselves. You have to weed them out and have the ones that are going to grow with you and not just grab something and make their way, you know? And especially in the music business, bro, it's not much different over there in Houston and Humble than it is here, that everybody is trying to get one up. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, dude, what about my part? You know what I mean? So no, let's grow together and let's build this, you know? Okay. Another question, more serious, but I like to say a saying usually every morning when I wake up that I'm not immortal. I am mortal, and I will die one day. And that's not to scare people, but that's just to realize that that is what happens, right? We're not here forever. Hopefully, I wish you a long, prosperous life. However, at the end of your life, what do you want people to feel or think about your life?
I guess be somebody who was, I guess, a leader for the Latin hip hop, the underground, the Latin underground, be known as one of the, the leaders that brought us up and brought underground artists up.
That's dope. That's dope. And it's definitely something that you started from even questioning what you're going to name it, because there were so many people giving you issues about the name, to actually just, you know what, let me do it. I'm not going to be doing music. I'm not going to, I don't know if it's marked off completely off you, but for right now, you want to be involved in music, and you created this space where people are really looking forward to, being placed on the page, being featured, or even being part of the awards. Like I enjoy the process of being able to be part of the awards, and I thought it was a super good idea. And you kind of sort of seen how many people were involved, right? And you can see on your algorithm, so most likely, no doubt, that you're touching not only here in Texas and Houston, but other places, even around the world. They're kind of sort of seeing that you're introducing them to this type of music. I see your TikToks, and they do very well, and that is all over the world. So without a doubt, Latinx Hip Hop, you're definitely a global Latin factor. So thank you very much for your contribution and what you're doing. It's awesome. One last question before I let you go. If somebody was to search you on a search engine or some kind of Google engine many years from now, what do you hope for them to find about you or Latinx Hip Hop?
And I guess this kind of goes back to the same answer I just gave, just, being known as one of the leaders of the Latin hip hop underground. And yeah.
I think I'm gonna get rid of the last question. I've been thinking about it before, because the previous question kind of sort of connects, is the same answer. So I'm gonna get rid of the last question. You caused that. Just remember that you're the reason why this question is gone. I'm kidding. I wish you nothing but luck. You're doing some great work, and people are seeing it. And not only myself, but people are seeing it, and I hope to continue to see you grow. And awesome work that you do. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This was another episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast. Remember, we are just like you. We are people. We are the spice in this melting pot that it is the world. Till next time. Thank you very much for checking out another episode of the Global Latin Factor Podcast. Make sure you go and subscribe to the channel. You are very important, and it means a lot to us whenever you go and subscribe and hit the bell so you can get notifications whenever we have new episodes. It really does truly mean a lot to us. Thank you very much.
What is Del Avigo? Walks like a pedo, but in fact is a flamingo. Coming to Havana, Henry from Puerto Rico. On a pirate ship, he don't know where do we go. The birds of the jungle chasing fortune and fame, but who are...